So here we are, headed into town to get some blood drawn for labs. And don't be confused if you see another video where I'm saying I'm going to Parker to get my labs drawn tomorrow. Yes, I'm getting my labs drawn twice. It's a long story, but there's no way to avoid it. They're being drawn for two different purposes. Today is a draw to follow up on some values that my doctor didn't like earlier in the month, and we think it's because I was dehydrated. So we're doing that follow up today. And I'll see him next week. We'll see the values tonight. I'll be able to log on and see him and make sure we're back down to normal with everything. Then tomorrow I have, and I couldn't see my regular doctor because he wasn't available, so I have to see another one for the medical clearance for the hip surgery, and that's going to involve another full blood panel and an EKG and a chest x-ray. And I'm going to go up to see if I can go up to Parker to do that, only because they have my appointments at 11:30 or 11:45 tomorrow, and the lab in Quartzsite closes at 12, and they're only open a couple days a week. So, but the one up in Parker is 5 days a week, all till like 5. So I'll drive up to Parker. Hopefully, I'll have a medication up there that is that I put in for refill today. Hopefully, it'll be available tomorrow, so I can kill two birds with one stone, which would be really nice. So, I'm sure many of you can relate to this. I've got some pretty mixed emotions about my surgery coming up. I'm nervous about it. Anytime they put you under and take a scalpel to you, it's a nerve-wracking experience. And I'm reminded of the old joke, do you know what the difference between minor surgery and major surgery is? Minor surgery is usually an outpatient procedure that is very simple and very low risk and routine. And major surgery is when I have the surgery I just described. I like that. It's so true. It's so true. Every once in a while I have the fantasy, well, I can just live with limping around in this little bit of pain every day. I don't need to, it's just, because let me tell you, if you go out in whatever kind of surgery you're having, and you go to, say, YouTube, and you go type in blah, 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 surgery recovery, you will get people that had the surgery doing YouTube videos on it, and most of them will scare the absolute crap out of you. I think recovering from any surgery is not fun. One thing I keep reminding myself of is the day-to-day existence with, from walking around to standing to rolling over in my sleep is painful, and I've gotten acclimated to it. It's like it's my normal life, so it doesn't feel so bad. And almost every person that I've talked to that has had this surgery, and there have been plenty of people, not just 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, but over 10 people that I have personally talked to that had this surgery. That's 10 I can think of. There are probably 20 over the past couple of years I've talked to, or more. Because I travel in circles of people that are in their 60s and 70s is probably why. But they universally say, you're going to be so surprised at how good it feels to finally be pain-free, when you're all recovered from the surgery. So the mission today is to go to the lab, Also to pick up water. I don't know if you've caught that I got lazy about, usually my habit was to, every time you go into town, fill up that 6-gallon thing. Well, I got lazy about that, and I came really close to running out of water the other day. And so I have a 32-gallon onboard tank, and if I put it in, it, 6 gallons at a time, that's 5 trips. So I was behind like that much. So I put 12 into it. I'll stop up here, not at my usual one, but the one that's, it's going to cost me a quarter more, but that's okay. But it's right on the way up here, near the Federal Credit Union place, the bank up here. And I'll stop first on my way up here and fill that up. So that'll be 18 gallons. Then tomorrow when I go, I'll do it again, and that'll be 24 gallons. And then I'll make a run out Wednesday, and that'll bring it up to about 30 gallons. So don't need to worry about water. I really got to make sure before surgery that I fill that thing to the brim, because I'm not going to be able to go around driving, much less lugging a 48-pound 6-gallon container of water. Oh, look at Dottie. We have a green light, but we'll still be cautious. It's a big intersection. People can be not paying attention and run through that intersection. A lot of people get into bad accidents because they go through a green light and someone's going through, breaking the law, going through the other way, but it's usually of little comfort that it's not your fault when you get in a bad accident. And here is the place to get salt-free drinking water. I think it's the same company as the other one, but this one just happens to be more convenient to what I'm doing today. And it's two-sided, and I can easily pull up right next to it. I don't have to lift the thing at all. So we will get 5 quarters out instead of the usual 4 quarters. It costs me a little bit more. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're gonna do this. So yes, I'm gonna buckle in this since it's sitting up on the seat, just so it doesn't move around on me. This is one of the prices you pay when you're not in an RV park and you're boondocking, but it's a very minor price to pay. You're watching real time how long it takes and what the effort is, and it's not much. And I just have to pick this up and dump it into my tank, which is the hardest part of it, and that's not hard at all. Right, Dottie? So this one does dispense exactly 5 gallons for 4 quarters. So it'll stop and I'll put in 1 more quarter and we'll get our 6 gallons. There's a guy waiting behind me. There's one on the other side.
It doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't work?
No, it was well did yesterday.
Oh. I won't be long. This one definitely is a lesser flow than the other one. It's not filling as fast for sure. And you see I'm holding up the hose because there's kind of a kink with tape on it that you might not be able to see because of the headrest. And 1 more gallon. Do 1 more gallon. I put in the 5th quarter. And this shouldn't take long at all. And there it is. I think there's a little left, so drain out what I... Yep. All right, so I always like to do that. You know, when we... So I guess this one does a little bit more than I thought because it was still going strong on the 6th gallon. So there was a little left, so maybe he'll be able to get that if you move fast enough. Otherwise, it'll time out and it'll time out and the pump will turn off. But we're going up like we're going to Parker here, and the doctor and the lab are right next to each other. It's about a mile up here. It's by the new, seems like a fairly new fire station. It's, the road is East Tyson Road. It's right up here. Looks like it's just before the start of the road construction, which will probably start right about now. And it's called La Paz Medical Services. All right, well, I have made it out, got the blood drawn, and I was really lucky. I walked in, there was nobody in the waiting room, and it takes about 10 minutes for them to do everything they need to do to actually draw the blood, all the paperwork and stuff. So, you know, and a bunch of people came in behind me, so I would have had quite a wait had I gotten there any later. But I definitely will have to go to Parker because they're not doing EKGs here. I guess their machine is down, and I don't know. They're not doing EKGs here. So tomorrow I have my appointment for the medical clearance, and I'll go from there up to Parker. Looks like they have the traffic stopped here. Oh yeah, oh they definitely have the traffic stopped here. So we'll turn that around so you can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, there's if I look to the left there, it's all the way back to town. It's backed up going north. And you know, he's smart because that guy turned around. I'm going to do the same thing because there's a back way that we can go. We don't have to wait for all this. We can just go around the other way. Smart man. Not a problem. So those of you may wonder, okay, so your doctor's here in Quartzsite. You live in Pahrump. You're in New Mexico in the summer. You're a nomad. You're all over the place. Why did you pick Quartzsite? Well, I guess the primary reason was because I just got Medicare on February 1st, the 1st of this month. So this is where I am when I get Medicare, and I wanted to get that surgery. And I didn't want to have to delay it, you know, going all the way back to Pahrump or in New Mexico is not really an option because the places I stay are pretty far from any major medical care. I heard really good things about this La Paz clinic system that's out of, I think it's under Parker Hospital. And every good thing that I heard has ended up being pretty accurate. You know, I've got nothing but great service, and it's been pretty wonderful. So that's why I picked Quartzsite. And for the foreseeable future, I'm in Quartzsite from November until early April. So that's a big chunk of the year. Granted, things can go wrong if I'm in Pahrump or somewhere else. But my Medicare is still good. It's just not my regular doctor. And I'm pretty happy having just the normal day-to-day medical care in a small town like this because it's fairly easy to get an appointment. They're going into the dog park. That's the dog park on the right there. Dottie looked up at me when I said dog park. So we're going by the town park here. You can see the jets on the right there, the Air Force jets. See those? And I think we need to turn the air on a little bit, Dottie. It's a little sunny, getting a little warm in the cab here. And I'm thinking, do I need anything else? And the answer is I really do not need anything else today. kind of a little silly. I know that I'm getting blood drawn today, and then I'm going to get blood drawn tomorrow in the same system. But, you know, there's not a way. They're two different, like I said earlier, they're two different purposes, two different doctors. And it's like, it would be very difficult to conflate those two things and just duplicate the test. The tests are different. And I don't want to do anything to jeopardize the timing to get that surgery scheduled, because the sooner the better for me, because my support is going to be here all of March. But if I go into April, I'm not going to have the support, and I may be stuck with not being able to do it this spring. I don't know. But what they're doing is, as soon as I get medically cleared, they can get me in for a cancellation in March. And I'm going to tell them, I don't even care if it's 24 hours notice. I'll be there, and we'll get her done. So one of the things that I've learned about, and you notice we're back in the middle of the court site here. So the road in front of us, Central, is the one I went up to get to the medical place, and I just kind of rode around a giant block there to get back here without having to go through that road construction. So one of the things, my brother, who has had this surgery this week, exactly the same surgery, he's given me daily calls on it. He's also encouraged me to get on and get on the internet and listen to surgeons talk about the recovery and what to expect. And there was one really comprehensive one, this exact same surgery, and he said, you know, you're probably going to be pretty pain-free. You're not going to be very ambulatory, but you're going to be pretty pain-free the day of the surgery. And it's going to be moderate to light pain the next few days. But he said, expect the inflammation to kick in around day 5, 6, and 7. And that'll probably be the peak of your discomfort. There'll be a lot of swelling. You know, even though they don't cut through any muscle tissue, they insult it. They spread the muscle tissue apart, and that's creates it's not cutting through it, but it does create a superficial injury to the muscle tissue, and it'll respond with a lot of blood flow, which will cause swelling, which will cause pain. So I'm prepared for that, and I'm anxious to talk to, I think yesterday was day 5 for Frank, and I didn't hear from him because I think my nephew was coming in, so he might not have had time. I'll talk to him today to see if that actually happened to him. So I'm going to do a video in the next day or two on this new device I bought, a Meta, the Meta VR, and I want to say it's Oculus. It's not. What the heck is it called? What is it called? I can't remember, guys. Give me just give me a minute to think here. It's called a Meta Quest 3, and it's VR, virtual reality goggles. And why did I get that? Because my friend Sally has the Quest 2, the prior one, and she is all about it. She just loves it. And I went in a couple weeks ago and said, hey, can I try it? And I was just blown away and very entertained. And I did quick research on the newer version, the Quest 3, and one of the things that I saw that really intrigued me wasn't so much the game playing as it creates a theater experience for watching movies and TV and such. So I went ahead and bought it, and let me tell you, folks. So picture this. I'm in a 21-foot trailer, and it's only 7 feet wide. And once you get inside there, those dimensions get even smaller because there's a kitchen and a refrigerator and there's all kinds of stuff in there. So it's very, very cramped. And I sit in my slide out on a recliner that is directly across from the TV, which hangs kind of above my kitchen counter. And the very biggest TV I could possibly put in there, I think it's 19 inches, 19 or 20 inches. And it's okay. Sometimes it's hard for me to, if there's printing on it, it's hard for me to read that. But I can't put a giant TV in there. But with this thing on, let me tell you, it's like sitting in front of a 100-inch theater screen. And it's better resolution than, it looks sharper and clearer than my TV. Now keep in mind, small TVs, you can't get 4K small TVs. I'm not sure exactly why, but there's no such thing as a 4K TV like less than, I think, 30 inches or something, which is way too big for my space. But this image in the goggles, holy mackerel. And believe it or not, and I can lean back in the recliner. I can lean all the way back and I can just move the screen so it could be on the ceiling even, it can even be partially on the ceiling. It's not a projection on the wall, it's inside the device. And it's amazing, it's comfortable, it changes the experience of watching a movie absolutely enormously, and I'm really pleased with it. The best I could do for you is I'm able to record my experience, and I'll show you the recording of it on the video when I do the video on this. But it's not the same as like being there, but it gives you a really good idea. And as usual, this is not a sponsored thing. No, they did not send me a free one. Nothing like that. This is just all on the up and up. I bought it on my own. And you go, well, how much did you spend? I'm embarrassed to tell you. But I think it was $4.99. However, one of the things Sally warned me about is the head strap that you use to put on it is it's just like it's elastic. It's terrible. And she said it's very uncomfortable for any length of time. So what people do is they buy an aftermarket one, and the gold standard aftermarket one is the one she told me to get, and it was over $100. So, and I'm glad I got it. It's not only super comfortable, but it actually has, if it gets warm, there's a little fan in it and an extra battery. And I can actually work with it plugged in my chair, and I don't have to worry about the battery running out. But with tax and everything, are you ready? About $700. Which is about what you'd pay for a really high-end, very high-end TV. Maybe not. I guess those prices have come down so much. All right, we're going to go through the Big Dipper here. Every time I do that, I'm like praising the rear differential lock. It does such a good job of getting me up that without the wheel slipping. I'm looking to see if any of the gang is out, and they're not. It's still too early for most of them. It's 9:43. And we have arrived. Here, I'm just gonna actually, I'll probably do a better video for the, I'm gonna do a standalone on the device, but I'll show you right here the footage from the device. So this is what it looks like through the goggles, and yeah, I can see in my trailer. I can see everything around the screen, but this is a YouTube channel I'm watching. I can move the screen around, and I can make it bigger, smaller. I can do all sorts of cool things with it, but this is actually pretty small. Look, I can make it a curved screen if you like a curved screen. It's just so neat. It's like right in my face. Like that screen that I have it now would be close to 100 inches. Hey, I hope you really enjoyed that footage. And I hope it gave you an idea of what it's like and why I'm so excited about it. That I can finally have a big screen TV in my little tiny trailer. I appreciate you watching my videos. Thank you so much. And I will see you tomorrow.